The more that I look at Donald Trump, the more that I'm convinced a lot of this does not have to do with black people. I know black people don't like the fact that he is president. I do not believe that he is worse than Hillary Clinton, because in this election I didn't vote in the for the presidency. I wasn't finna just waste my time on some absolute bullshit. If you look at the people behind him, they're older. They have the Make America Great Again hats on. You also see the Caucasian females by their side. The majority of them look like they are a part of the working class. Some of them could be middle class. And one thing that I do know is the middle class is starting to feel the heat. Personally, working on the plantation that I do, I can actually see what is going on as far as employment and their lives, because one thing in the area where I am, it is predominantly black. Now I am starting to see Caucasians kind of move in. And like I said, and I've been saying this, I do have to stay here until the end of my lease, which all of this started at my re-sign, so I won't be able to move for a year. But after that year is up, I'm out of here because everything is changing. I should have known something was up when the building changed owners, and then I slowly but surely start seeing Caucasians move in. I prefer to live around my own. I have to go to the plantation and I have to work around them, which drains my energy. I really don't want to live around them. You know, it can cause trouble, unnecessary trouble, and that's just how I choose to live. But the one thing that I notice, even in certain stores that I go to, because I'm big on saving, getting the cheapest price for what I buy, and I see them. I'm seeing people who are a part of the middle class and upper middle class coming and shopping in the areas where predominantly black people shop, and I'm seeing them frequently. So I already know that they are feeling the heat, they're feeling the crunch is starting to bear down on them. And the only thing that they can do is double down on their bigoted, racist ideals. Because these idiots actually think that black people and minorities are getting the majority of the jobs. They think they're causing the country to change. That's bullshit. The very person that they put as president is the one who is going to drain them dry. He is there to actually completely crush the middle class. He is not there to help them in any way. One thing that he is going to do, he is going to take away their health care. A lot of them do not understand, and this is because I worked in the public assistance sector, so I know about it, where other people who are talking about it, I know the ins and out of it. A lot of people who talk on here, they don't come from that background. They don't really know. They're spouting off a bunch of talking points by a bunch of these newscasters and people who put that information out, and they don't even know what they're talking about. You really don't get a good idea unless you work in it and see it, and I did for 2 years. But he is going to definitely take away their health care. One voted for him, and then he was having second thoughts about, because he had Obamacare, and people don't understand that Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act is the same damn thing. They think it's two different things until, you know, people started to have to beat it into their damn heads that it is the same thing. Now they're up in arms about it, and they are falling apart and melting because of it. And then they are taking away the public assistance. So that means if these middle class people, if he hits them hard, they are not going to have health care. You see all these older people out there that need that health care. They could potentially die from a health issue. Public assistance will be drastically cut. They will not be able to eat. They, even if they qualify for it because they lose their job or something like that, they will get practically nothing, which, public assistance, when they say food stamps and TANF and Medicaid, that's a trigger word for Black people. And I'm here to tell you, the majority of the people on these programs are Caucasian, and it is not because they are the majority in this country. The reason why I say that, and a lot of people say, well, there's more of them here, so they should be. I hear too many times Caucasian people coming on my videos on my platform telling me how they have the highest IQ. This country was made for them. They did receive the money and the privilege. They will be the first hired, last fired, and all of the other things that they say that are so great about them and that is out there about them by their own promotion. So I say, if you have such a high IQ over anybody else, and that's just the way it is, if you have these inherent talents and skills, you should be the last one on public assistance. But they try and paint it with a Black face when the majority of the people who are taking in their applications are Black, and they are the ones who are on it the most, and the numbers are skewed. And I have a video about public assistance that shows, and I go into more about how they play with the statistics concerning public assistance, but that is going to be stripped away from them. And then as far as employment, what jobs has he created? I mean, this is supposed to be the guy who is a great businessman, and he is supposed to be creating jobs. Where are the jobs? That's what I want to know. I want to see what jobs that he has brought back. I want to see what jobs he has created. He is such a wonderful businessman, they say. He would be the one to put the country back on track because he knows about business and he's all about getting people to work. Because he's created businesses, he's created jobs, he knows the ins and out. I don't see one job he's created. Another thing that I have heard about is the Russian sanctions. America and Russia has been in this little hidden war for a while. It started in Syria, and they're working this up. But all I have to say is the arrogance and the audacity of these Americans, and I'm talking about the Caucasus Mountain version of Americans, really think they can take on anybody. They can take on anyone, and they don't understand who they're dealing with. They don't understand how weak they are. They don't understand that they're actually rotting from the inside out, and they don't want to start anything with anyone else because a lot of these other countries have built up alliances. They have built up their military, and they could go toe to toe with Americans. And I know a lot of these Caucasus Mountain Americans do not understand that. They have always been a type of people who will push their will on others, and they don't understand at this point, with everything they have done and in the name of bigotry and racism, the things that they have tried to do to a lot of us melanated people has actually been affecting them, which they cannot stand against these other countries. Russians are also from the Caucasus Mountains, but this is a infighting between them. These powers, one of them wants to have more power than the other. This is in-house fighting. he is definitely trying to get a war started, whether it will be with Russia, whether it will be with Iran, whether it will be with Saudi Arabia, whether it will be with North Korea. I even think he would take on China. He's trying to get a war started because it's within their nature. It's something innate where they want to harm others and go to war for absolutely no reason at all. They have to be killing. And the people who think like this, they have to be killing something. They have this bloodlust where they have to subjugate, oppress, and also kill something. And that's how it looks. And I'm not saying each and every one, but I'm saying the majority. It is a overwhelming majority. And the latest thing that has been in the news is affirmative action. This is again them shooting themselves in the foot. Everyone knows affirmative action actually helps females from the Caucasus Mountains. This was supposed to help black people or melanated people to get opportunities that they were being denied. But basically, they made Caucasus Mountain females a minority. So therefore, they benefit off of affirmative action. You can go to any corporate plantation and see how it works. It has nothing to do with black people. These are smoke screens. And what the people who voted for Donald Trump don't understand is he knows their triggers. Their trigger is saying that he's going to send the military or troops to Chicago, trying to name it as if it's Chirac or something like that, some stupid shit like that. And he knows when he's in hot water or he doesn't want anyone looking into what he's doing or any of that. He wants to turn the narrative. He will definitely use black people to kind of be a smokescreen for him, to protect him in what he's doing to them. And this is something that I said way before he was elected. I said, you know what? I really don't care for Hillary. I'm not voting for her, but I do believe that Trump will be president. And my feeling about him being president is, I mean, black people will feel this in a way. We definitely will get caught up and swept up into this to a degree. But the main target is the working class and the rest of the middle class Caucasian people. They are going to feel this the worst, and they cannot handle this the way we handle it. We have went through a lot of things in our DNA. We are a strong people, but once he is done tearing away any safety net that they could have, and then these companies start to lay people off. It's already begun. Banks, hospitals, it's already started where they are cutting jobs left and right. And once they do this to the middle class and the working Caucasians, the elderly, they are not going to know what to do because they've never experienced anything like this before. And it's very interesting to watch that all of these people you see back there with the signs and the books and all of that, and they got Trump, Trump are for Caucasian women. Trump is going to make America white again. Trump is, they are championing him. Those are the very people who are going to get hit. They are the targets, is what I'm noticing. And if the powers over him choose to go ahead and set their chessboard the way they want with him, they can definitely have him impeached. They can have him taken down, and then they will bring in the super devil, Mike Pence. I personally know about him and his antics because I have lived in Indiana for a while he was governor, and I already know how he was as governor. And if they give him the power of the presidency, I'm just letting you know it's going to basically America is going to finish crumbling. That's all I can say about that. But what's really interesting to watch about this is they really thought that Trump was going to mainly 100% focus on black people and get all of these melanated people under control. He was going to 100% focus on immigrants, which his wife is an immigrant, which is hilarious. You will never hear them talk about immigrants who come from European countries. But they don't understand he is gunning for Caucasians. And it's the working class, the middle class, and the upper middle class. And they'll even sweep in some of the rich if they have to. But yeah, I'll go ahead and end this. I'll continue to watch all of this unfold. But go ahead, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.